Hello and welcome to Sense Business YouTube channel. Today we will be covering 1.3.1 Business Aims and Objectives. In this lesson we will learn what business aims and objectives are. We will understand what SMART objectives mean and what they are. And we will understand financial aims and objectives. So they are survival, profit, sales, market share, financial security, and then we will move on to understand non-financial aims and objectives. So these could be personal satisfaction, a challenge, independence, control, or to support or contribute to a local community. Once we know all of these points, then we will understand and I will explain to you why aims and objectives differ between businesses. As always, I've got an activity for you to do at the end of this lesson. So let's enjoy the lesson and learn as much as we can about business. Okay, so business aims. Aims are the broad targets that business wishes to achieve. So that's what aims are. A business aim is the goal a business wants to achieve. That's what basically an aim is. An aim does not say how this will be achieved in any detail whatsoever. A primary aim for all business organization is to add value in the private sector. You know what private sector is, don't you, from previous videos? Good. This involves making a profit. More strategic aims include expansion, market leadership, and brand building. So there could be number of aims a business will have. And business objectives are a clear, measurable goal so success or failure is clear. So we can say that an aim is the overall goal that you want to achieve. Objectives are little steps that you have to take to achieve that goal. So for example, you want to build 10-story house. So objectives would be, I need to build the first floor, then the second floor, then the third floor, then the fourth, and then so on. And once you build the 10 floors, that is when you have achieved your aim. And when you achieve your objective is when you build the first floor, because that's your first objective, that's your first step, as you can see. So this could be your first step. Once you achieve that, that's your first objective. Then you set yourself another objective, you achieve that, and then you achieve the next one, and that's where you achieve your overall goal. So objectives are little steps to achieve the overall goal. A business objectives is a detailed picture of a step you plan to take in order to achieve a stated aim. So like I said, it's basically little steps for you to take to achieve the aim, as a business or as a personal. So if you aim to get the highest possible grade, what objectives are you going to put in place to achieve that? So you are going to do your homework, you're going to ensure you're going to watch all these videos that I upload, you're going to do some practice paper. These are all your little objectives which will help you achieve your aim. So we can say that objectives are specific targets that the business can create to help achieve their aims. Adverts. So you might see some adverts in these videos, in the middle of these videos, but please don't get annoyed by these adverts, because that's how I can afford to pay the bills and upload more and more videos for you. So if you see maybe 1 or 2 adverts in this video, please don't get annoyed. If you don't like them, skip them, but don't get annoyed by it. So let's understand what SMART is. A SMART objectives are goals that are designed to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. These typically include end goals such as revenue or meaningful steps towards the end goal such as launching a new product. So like I said, so these little steps are your objectives and this is your goal. So you need to build these little objectives and achieve them before you can meet your overall goal. So now SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, so what do we mean by specific? Your goal should be clear and specific, otherwise you won't be able to focus your efforts or feel truly motivated to achieve it. Measurable, the business can put value on the objective. For example, 10,000 euros in sales in the next half year of trading. So you need to be able to measure. Agreed, all those concerned in trying to achieve the objectives needs to agree to it. If you're not going to agree and if there's disagreement, it's not going to work. And realistic, they need smart objectives need to be realistic. The objective should be challenging, but it should also be able to be achieved by resources available, and they need to be time specific. So we can say realistic and relevant, because if they're not relevant, there's no point of achieving an objective that's not relevant to your overall aim. Time specific, they have a time limit of when the project should be achieved. For example, by end of the year or by end of the month or a specific date, because there's nothing worse than having an objective that never ends, because you could be going on forever and forever. So what are the advantages of SMART objectives? They provide focus and direction. So if you have specific, measurable, agreed, relevant, and time-bound objectives, they provide focus and direction. For instance, if your goal is to increase revenue and maximize expenses, knowing this will help you avoid making unnecessary purchases. SMART objectives, they will help you create a plan. They will help you to begin with the end in mind and set smaller, shorter term goals to move you in the right direction. They can be a tool to motivate your employees or to motivate yourselves. For instance, if your goal is to increase sales, then you can set up employee incentives to programs to earn things for reaching certain milestones. So these are some great advantages of SMART objectives. They deliver faster result. This is because you will be wasting less time on unproductive action, and you will be a more direct route to accomplishing the overall aim or goal. Reduce stress. When you have something that is well thought, there seems to be a lot less stress. When we don't have goals in place to guide our actions, it is common to lose focus easily and stop focusing on the most important needs of the business. So these are some great advantages of SMART objectives. So aim and objectives, what's the difference, you might be thinking? So like I explained earlier, aim is about what you hope to do, your overall intention in the project. It signals what and or where you aspire to be by the end. It's what you want to know. It is the point of doing the research. An aim is therefore generally broad. It is ambitious but not beyond possibility. So that is the simplest form you could put it in. And then objectives is there are usually more than one, are specific steps you will take to achieve your aim. So this is your aim, and objectives are specific, measurable steps that you will take to achieve this aim. this is where you make the project tangible by saying how you're going to go about it, how long it will take, who's going to do it. So this is what the difference is between aim and an objective. So financial objectives. For most businesses that are starting up, a short-term objective would be survival, probably for small businesses who are just starting, or when a new firm enters the market, or at the time of crisis. So if there's a recession, like we were in recession 2008, 9 and so on, then all businesses' objectives were to survive the market. Can you remember how many businesses went boost? So the survival would be a big objectives or main objectives for many businesses that are in profit, especially in crisis times. Profit is another one, making enough money to pay bills or satisfy shareholders, because nobody is going to invest in your money, so in your business. These shareholders will not invest money in your business if you're not going to give them some money back. So these shareholders would want money. So you as a business will want to set objectives of making enough money so you can pay the bills. You could probably keep some for yourself and pay some to the shareholders, and then keep them happy. Hey, like this guy here. Another objectives for financial will be profit maximization. Try to make the most profit possible, most likely to be the aim of the owner and shareholders again. So shareholders and owners will, as soon as they survive the market, as soon as they make a little bit of profit, the next objective they will set up is to maximize their profit. Sales, gaining as many customer purchases as possible, common approach among online businesses such as Facebook. So sales, the more sales some businesses they make, the more profit they make. So that's why businesses will set an objective of hitting certain targets in sales by end of the month, or by end of the year, or in the first quarter of the year. So they will set different objectives. And then another financial objective would be growth, where the business tries to make as many sales as possible. This may be because the managers believe that the survival of the business depends on being large. Another financial objective is market share, claiming as many loyal customers as possible, giving a business power in the market. So the more a business might aim or set an objective to take half of the market or as much as the market possible, because the bigger you are in the market, the more customers you have in that market. I want to clarify two things for you here. Financial security means having enough money to ensure the long-term success of business. For example, profit is kept to invest in future products or expansion. So just remember that for your exam, because this might possibly turn up. So financial security means having enough money to ensure the long-term success of a business. So now let's look into some non-financial objectives. So these could be ethical and social responsible objectives. So organizations like Co-op or the Body Shop have objectives which are based on their beliefs on how one should treat the environment and people who are less fortunate, aiming to help a particular area of the community or group. So non-financial objects would be things like such. It could be personal satisfaction, wanting to feel a sense of achievement through what your business does. So you could set certain personal targets that are not related to financial objectives. Public sector organization that monitor or control private sector activities have objectives that are to ensure that businesses they are monitoring comply with the law laid down. For example, the health and safety teams or health and hygiene. Health and safety, for example, will ensure that all businesses are working within the law set or laid down for them, because they will try, their objectives would be to try and minimize as many accidents at work as possible, and they will provide the right training, or they will introduce the right training for businesses to undertake, so everybody in their and the organizations know how to lift manually, for example, or to avoid injuries. And health and hygiene might visit so many, their objective might be to visit 100 restaurants and takeaways in a month to ensure that they are all meeting the hygiene standards. So there's a number of non-financial objectives that a public sector organization could have. So challenge, being motivated by being stretched and pushed by the challenges that your business faces. Charities and voluntary organizations, they will have non-financial objectives. Their aims and objectives are led by the beliefs they stand for. For example, children in need would set an objective of helping as many children in need as possible, or Red Cross would set an objective or an aim to help as many people as possible overseas who are affected by war or what have you. So there are different charities and volunteering organizations that will have different non-financial objectives. So non-financial objectives in a way means things that are not related to money. So independence, wanting to be your own boss and do it alone. That's got nothing to do with money, so that's why it's a non-financial objective. So anything that's to do with maximizing or gaining profit is not a non-financial objective. That is a financial objective. So control, wanting to control over your business, not wanting other people to tell you what to do or let other people or businesses dictate what your business does. So having the control is a non-financial objective. Businesses may change its objectives, so don't think that objectives will be the same always, due to the following reasons, because there could be a number of reasons why a business might change its objective. It could be a business may change an objective and will need to move on to another one. So if a business has achieved their objective, they will need to move on to another objective. For example, if their initial objective or objective was to survive in the first year, may lead to an objective of increasing profit in the second year. So do you see? So once you achieve your objective, you might move on to another one, and that means you changed your objective. Another reason a business might change its objective is the competitive environment might change with the launch of new products from the competitors. So if your competitor launches a new product into the market, your objectives are going to change, because your objectives are going to be related to what your competitors just launched. Because if they have launched a brand new product, you're going to set an objective of how to overcome that product, so the market or the customers all of that and don't run away for that. So how you prepare yourself to cope with that new launch of the competitors, because sometimes if Apple introduces a new product, straight away Samsung introduces the same product, so they keep their customers to themselves. But if Apple introduced product every 6 months and Samsung didn't do it for 3-4 years or 2 years and didn't set any objectives, then everybody would run to Apple, because they're introducing new technology that's way more advanced, for example. So that's why your objectives might change if due to new product from a customer or promotion. It could be anything. Another reason objectives might change is because of the technology. So if there's a there's a change in technology, you'll need to change your objectives. If the product design changes, so sales and production targets might need to change also. So why aims and objectives differ between businesses? Okay, so some are for profit and some are for not profit. We have talked about this all this lesson, and that's why their aims and objectives differ, because if a business is for profit, they will aim to maximize profit, and if a business is for not profit, they will aim to help the environment or support its local community. For example, like I said earlier, and I give you this example earlier as well, Co-op or Body Shop have objectives which are based on their beliefs on how one should treat the environment, and people who are less fortunate aiming to help a particular area of the community or a group of people. Samsung and Apple, on the other hand, will aim to maximize profit or lead the market, you see? And that's why their aims differ, because one's wanting to gain maximize finance, their money, the other one wants to help the community, so their aims will differ. It could be because the businesses are not in the same industry. Businesses in different industry will have different aims and objectives. For example, oil company will have different objectives to retail stores. And that brings us to the final slide, the activity. I would like you to list 5 things you have learned from this presentation. If you're watching this video in a classroom, compare them to 2 of your classmates. List how many similar things they have learned to you, and then list how many different things they have learned to you from this presentation. If you're watching this video alone on YouTube, then please write the 5 things that you have learned in the comment section below, and then compare it with the next person that comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this short lesson. Normally they're about 20 minutes, but this one I think is only about 20 minutes again. No problem. So let's enjoy this lesson and let's learn more and more business. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Please make sure you complete this, because it's really important that you answer these questions. Thank you.